Time to round up a big topic from the week. Tea Party groups want state lawmakers to adopt strict spending controls when the legislature convenes next year. They're demanding a cap of 6.2%, an amount that equals the increase in the Texas population and inflation. The conservative groups say the state budget has spiraled out of control since 2004 and that spending has jumped more than 62% in the last decade. But what would capping spending mean to the state's long-term fiscal outlook? That's our topic this half hour, and we want to hear from you. You can weigh in on our Fox 26 Facebook page or send a tweet. Be sure to use the hashtag Fox26forlife. In our newsroom, again, we have our legal analyst Chris Tritico, our news analyst Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst Jackie Bally. All right, guys, so the conservative groups this week said the growth in spending has cost taxpayers more than $8 million this year alone, and a family of four, $1,200. Seems to make sense. We want to help families out. So what's the concern with cutting spending?
Well, you know, the interesting thing about this story is that the state legislature for the last 10 years that they cited in this story has been dominated by Republicans and fiscal conservatives. And the only tax increase that I can remember in that 10-year period was the franchise tax that Governor Perry asked the legislature to pass and taxed every business in the state of Texas on an income basis. It's not an income tax, of course. We call it a franchise tax, but it's based on your income. And so I don't know where this argument is coming from. It's kind of them feeding on themselves at this point. The issue, I think, Jackie Bally, is if you cut spending the way. First, the state of Texas is not like the United States government. We can't spend in a deficit. We have to balance our budget every year. So we're not spending money we don't have. We have a balanced budget every 2 years that we pass. So what's really the issue here? We're not overspending.
Just because you make recommendations to a plan to improve it doesn't mean that you're saying it's a bad plan. And TPPF is very well respected as a conservative think tank group that's probably the most respected in the state and very well respected in the country. And this group is saying, look, in order for us not to be in the same situation that the nation is, this is our plan. This is what we propose. And the timing of this is because they want to do it before appropriations, before the appropriation hearings begin.
Right.
And so this is their recommendation. So just because we're saying this is better, this is a better option to look at, we all know that Texas is a great place to live. That's why people are coming here in droves. We all know that the Republican-run House and Senate have allowed us to have a healthy economy when other states did not have a healthy economy. This plan is for us to continue to keep moving in a positive direction.
A plan like this that they're proposing would not allow for the infrastructure needs that Texas is so severely lacking in. It would not allow to build up our Medicare, Medicaid payments that we need to build up to build us out of last place.
Or anything else. Look, our economy is in a healthy place not because of what the legislature and the Republican leadership know. Our economy is in a healthy place because hydrothermal fracturing, our ability to get oil and gas out of the ground has increased phenomenally, and our economy is doing well because of that, not because of the legislature. And we have cut budgets extensively. I mean, we have $4 billion in education this session before last. We're at the bottom when it comes to education. We're at the bottom when it comes to health care. And this legislature, rather than trying to find more ways to put us bottom of everything else, needs to find a way out, and this cap is the wrong way to do that.
All right, I'm going to go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
Yeah, we're getting a tweet in from Robin with the Kingwood Tea Party. She says all Texans benefit when we have a low taxation, low spending government. And then the Texas Public Policy Foundation up there in Austin, they say whenever the state spends $1, that's $1 that a Texan can't spend to buy a house, to start a business, to follow a dream. Hashtag cap the budget.
You know, I guess I'm really having a hard time understanding where this is coming from. Like I said, Texas has to have a balanced budget every year. We don't overspend, we don't deficit spend because we can't by law. And so the dollars that the state is spending is the dollars it's already going to get over that 2-year period. And so I'm really having a hard time, Jackie Bally, following how these groups are saying, you know, if the state's spending money, a Texan can't.
Well, another thing I want to correct, one of you or both of you may have said, is that this plan, that there is just a plan, an outline, a suggestion. They did not once did they say this is where you need to spend the money that we do have.
No, I realize it. They just want to cap the
So whenever
growth.
we say, well, we're not going to spend it in Medicare, that was not outlined in this plan. And another thing is, Mustafa said that, well, people are coming here? Well, they're coming here because of our very friendly, good business type policies that our legislature and our leadership, our Republican leadership, have put in place.
But let me ask you
Remember,
this.
we created more jobs than 49 other states combined.
But the point is if you cap the ability of the government of the state of Texas to raise money, even when it's going to be a balanced budget, you cap their ability to spend it on infrastructure and Medicare and Medicaid, right?
You may cap their ability, but that doesn't mean you're telling them not to spend what sources they have. And because of our low taxation and our low spending, that's why we continue to get businesses and people to come here.
It's not a friendly recommendation. They're saying basically we're watching you and we're going to vote against you in the primary if you don't do this. And two, you know, when you say that everybody's coming here because of everybody's coming to jobs here because we have rich and natural resources, because we're drilling oil. That's why our economy is good, not just because we have friendly policies. So you can't drill oil where oil doesn't exist. It exists here, and that's why our economy does well.
And
we're going to have to leave it right there. I'm sorry. We're going to leave it right there. Cut Jackie off. It's the first time I've had to do that to her.
Never cut Jackie off.
I know. I'm sorry.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you with one more topic coming up in our last half hour. Caitlin.